It was just before dawn on September 1st, 1939. On the border of Poland, a 19-year-old German soldier named Hans sat inside a tank, gripping his rifle with trembling hands. He was just a farm boy yesterday. Now, he was part of an invasion that would ignite the deadliest conflict in human history. At exactly 4:45 a.m., artillery fire roared. Planes screamed across the sky. The German blitzkrieg, lightning war, had begun. Poland would fall in weeks, and within 2 days, Britain and France declared war on Nazi Germany. The world was at war. Germany's armies swept across Europe with terrifying speed. In 1940, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and even mighty France collapsed in quick succession. France was gone in just 6 weeks. Only Britain stood defiant. In the summer of 1940, the Battle of Britain raged in the skies. For the first time, Hitler's forces were stopped, not by armies on the ground, but by the courage of pilots defending their homeland. Meanwhile, in the East, the Soviet Union had signed a pact with Hitler, but peace would not last. In June 1941, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest land invasion in history. Millions of German troops poured into Soviet territory, and the war became a brutal, grinding battle of survival. And across the world, another empire was rising. Japan, hungry for resources and power, had already seized parts of China. On December 7, 1941, Japanese bombers attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. In that moment, the United States entered the war. Now, it was truly a global conflict. From the deserts of North Africa, where Generals Rommel and Montgomery clashed, to the jungles of the Pacific, where American soldiers fought island by island at Midway, Guadalcanal, and Iwo Jima. The war stretched across every corner of the globe. But the darkest chapter wasn't fought on battlefields. It was the Holocaust. In camps like Auschwitz and Treblinka, millions of Jews, Roma, disabled people, and political prisoners were murdered. 6 million Jews perished in a genocide that remains one of the most horrifying crimes in human history. By 1944, the tide was turning. On June 6th, D-Day, the Allies stormed the beaches of Normandy. Thousands of soldiers fought their way into France, opening the long-awaited Western Front. From the east, the Soviet Red Army pushed relentlessly forward. By April 1945, Berlin was encircled. Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his bunker, and on May 8th, Germany surrendered. But the war wasn't over. Japan refused to give up. After years of brutal fighting in the Pacific, the United States made a fateful decision. On August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. 3 days later, another on Nagasaki. Cities vanished in fire and ash. Over 200,000 civilians died. On August 15th, Japan finally surrendered. World War II was over. The cost? Over 60 million lives lost. Cities reduced to rubble. Families torn apart. The world was scarred forever. Yet from the ruins came a new world order, the birth of the United Nations, the rise of the United States and Soviet Union as superpowers, and the start of the Cold War. World War II was more than a war. It was a warning, a lesson about what happens when hate, fear, and unchecked power go unchallenged. As Winston Churchill said, those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it.